Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 9 of The Transgender. I'm Ashley. I am joined, as always, by Distracted Elf, and we have a very special guest today, FerociouslySteph.
Hi.
Welcome to the show, Steph.
I don't know which direction to point.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, just down in general.
Yeah, I'm below you. in general.
Solid.
Oh wait, no, it's mirrored. I was mirrored the whole time. Ashley, Elf is this way.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Ashley is this way.
Yeah.
All right, I got my buds here. Hi.
How are you doing, Steph?
I'm doing all right. It's been a crazy week for me.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. No kidding.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that crazy week before we?
Oh well, I was contestant on Twitch's show called Stream On. And I hyped that up for a few weeks, and I was one of the first to be eliminated. Actually, literally the first eliminated the show. So, and with that, queer representation went up in smoke. I felt really bad about it. It's okay. I know. I tried my best. And I just turned on. I pride myself in being authentic, and I just turned on my stream right after and tried it out for 3 hours, and my community was just great to me. So it's good things lie ahead. That's in the past. It's just a whole lot of disappointment, really.
Yeah, and I mean you can't help but feel that kind of thing when there's competition and competing with people and all that kind of stuff. Next time.
Next time I will slay you in your arbitrary challenge.
We'll run our own stream.
Arbitrary challenge shall be defeated. Okay. Well, that loops in nicely with what we're talking about today, because I believe, actually, if I'm not incorrect, that our topic today is about being role models and role models in general in the queer space.
Yes. Yeah.
Trans specifically, because that's what the show is called.
Yes. We all happen to be trans people.
Yeah. It's much easier.
It's just totally arbitrary. We just all ended up on this show somehow, but
yeah, where's the cishet representation on this show? Goddamn.
You joke. I have received private messages saying I should have someone who's cishet on this show.
Why?
I don't know. I have no idea. It doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
I made a joke, but it's hilarious to hear that it's a real thing that you're dealing with. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's, like I was saying, that ties in really well because you had a lot of public eye position recently, right, Steph?
Right.
With all this stuff and promoting this stuff, and Twitch getting on board with promoting all the people involved, including you.
Correct.
And so on, and how is that sort of in a space with a lot of new people or people that maybe you've never interacted with before? How does that feel?
I'm kind of used to it because I get it's a different spotlight, but I get the Blizzard spotlight sometimes.
Yeah.
From a Blizzard launcher, and those whenever you get a large sampling of outside of queer space people coming to check you out, you just know you're in for a different kind of day.
It's true. Yeah.
You're just, all right, we're defending our existence today.
Yeah.
And having fun.
Great. Yeah, let's lawyer up and justify why I'm allowed to be alive.
Yes.
Yeah.
One day I really hope that I can get a front page on Twitch. That's a dream for me. I also dread the day I get a front page on Twitch.
It is both amazing and a nightmare. I can tell you that much.
Yeah. But every hater we tank is just getting worn out for the future, and I'm a social justice tank. I accept my role. I've got a bunch of healers behind me.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stand out.
Listen, you've got all the armor on, you got the shield, you're good to go. Fine. Yeah.
See, I'm a social justice rogue. I just go around and stab everyone in the back.
Wait, so what does that mean?
I have no idea.
Social justice rogue, she means literally murder.
Yeah, definitely. Totally. You used to see Ashley at night pulls the black gloves on, the like long turtleneck and
Yeah.
balaclava.
That's just my aesthetic.
And of course the gun of choice is the like James Bond pistol, because like British.
Yes. Yeah. 100%.
Totally. Oh, I see it. I see it. I see the aesthetic.
Right. It's right there. Cool. Awesome. Yeah. So here's the thing. If we loop back around from all of our hilarity into what we're supposed to be, there's like a literal topic today. I know, right?
Yeah. It's weird.
So the title is Being Role Models, which I think is like the first thing we should address, because it's like exactly the title.
Mm-hmm.
All of us are sort of in a public space.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about the idea that you're supposed to represent like a large group of people? You know what I mean? Like as a person. And I'm to Ash and Steph and anyone who wants to be involved in the conversation.
I love it.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say that.
I'm super about it. It like fuels me. It's amazing to like have that influence. I have cracked so many eggs. I know you have too, Elf.
Holy fucking hell! So many.
Yeah. It's beautiful. I love it. I mean, on one hand, it's a whole lot of pressure. I was actually talking to my friend about this the other day. It's just like, wait, you, because of me, did this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a lot.
There's a fair degree of emotional labor involved in it, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Certified cracked by Elf.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
The official stamp. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Free range.
I think I agree with you, Steph. Like I love it, but there's a part of me that is like there is a lot of pressure, and I'm like, I don't think I'm a good enough person for people to actually model their life on my own. I'm like, no, you should not. Don't follow my example.
Dr. Nova, please. Okay.
Okay.
We are
Yeah.
all flawed
Maybe.
humans. We are all flawed humans. You are trying your best. That makes you a good role model. You are beautiful.
See, Steph's just
yeah.
We brought her along to be motivational. That was the trick. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's really cool, right? It's cool to have influence and be able to move things.
I definitely think for me, it's one of those things where it's like I feel the pressure of it like a fair amount. That's not to say that I don't love it. I totally do. But it's also one of those things where I'm like, oh yeah, I represent an entire minority of very different, vastly different, completely different people who are, disparate and individual all on their own, and people are going to make assumptions about all of those people based on what I do, and that's a thing, right? And so that's my only concern, because I'm, I have a very different style to you, I would say, Steph. We have different methods, because you are like that relentlessly positive, amazing person that you are, and I'm much more the like, fuck you kind of person, you know, like have an argument, get in a fight, and be mad about things. And I'm not saying that you're not like that.
Yeah, but I'm like, oh man, I don't know. This is a difficult place for me, because I've been just so upset the last few days. That I've started like a little bit of angst has been starting to well up in me. And that's actually like one of the main motivators for me having this dream of like having an all-female team. It's like I really want to like I'm like ready to fight, because I'm tired of getting pushed around. But I still like positivity. Positivity is critical. Positivity is super important, because it helps people feel safe to be themselves.
Yeah, 100%.
And that to me is really like, I'm pretty sure that's the sole value of positivity to me. It's like I want people to be real in this world.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I'm just I don't think I have the as we've mentioned before, I don't think I have the spoons to be relentlessly positive in my own life. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
Totally.
I'm a hopeless nihilist. But we're all gonna die in a heat real. Yeah, we're all gonna die.
Still keep it real, and that's what's important to me. Is like more than the positivity is the keeping it real. Like don't. I mean, we have people in your chat. You have people in your stream like feeding off of your empathy, and that kind of goes back into role models and shows. You've got this empathetic connection between you and your audience, and I just feel it's like doing them a disservice if you're being a fake persona in front of them.
I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, real is important. Real, I totally agree with. Real, whether it's real good or real bad. As long as it's not real bad all the time, that tends to not go well stream-wise. But people should see you're essentially you, and that's some good, some good stuff.
Steph, I think it might be Zoom. You might be able to like set it so it's not. I think it's auto adjusting the mic level.
Strange.
Yes.
Technical difficulties abound.
Technical difficulties.
Audio options.
Is there like an automatically adjust thing ticked? Because you can nix that.
Oh, unticked.
Sweet.
All right. So hopefully that's a little better now.
Yeah, it sounds better on my end.
It definitely sounds a little more inconstant.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right, cool. All right, solved. So moving on to my next random question that will lead in various places.
Yeah.
Who, my dear friends, would you consider to be your role models? Who is your person, like, because there's a lot of like certified cracked by us, quote unquote.
Well, okay. Well, can I ask you first?
But
if you're okay telling me, who cracked your egg?
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. I can do this. I have faith in myself. Let's see. I'm just gonna dredge back through my history a second, and I think. I can't think of like one specific person. Like no one specific person like jumps to mind. But what I can say is the internet definitely cracked my egg. Like I didn't know what trans was. I was feeling shitty. People were like, "Have you looked at this thing?" I'm like, "Oh, that makes a lot of sense."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know that I don't know that I have a specific person that cracked my egg. What I would say is that many friends helped create tiny fractures in the shell of said egg.
Yeah.
And eventually I was able to burst forth myself. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what I would metaphorically say.
Mm-hmm.
Now the onus is on you.
Look, that slayed me. Would you like to go first, Ashley?
Yeah, I can go first. So I talked a lot about this when we did like our first episode on coming out and all of that. But my egg was definitely cracked by my friend Robin, who came out about 6 months before I did. And there was an event at the university club where I went dressed as a schoolgirl. And then a few days later, my friend Robin brought up to my partner, like, Ashley looked like really comfortable in those clothes. Has she talked to you about like gender stuff at all? And then when it got brought up to me, like this conversation came back to me, I just had like this lightning bolt moment of, oh yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
I was not entirely truthful, because if we're talking about that lightning bolt moment too, for me it was on stream. It happened on stream. It literally happened live, because I went through my whole transition like on stream basically.
Yeah.
And I was doing the whole thing that men always do, where it's like, haha, dress up for goofs, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And for goofs, I was like, oh god, my heart.
It's always the goofs.
Yeah, it's always the goofs.
Your turn, Steph.
All right, Steph.
Mine was cracked by a celebrity. Mine was Jamie Clayton on Sense8. The first time Sense8 came out. But I didn't actually. The lightning bolt didn't hit me then. The lightning bolt hit me in the mountains of Yosemite, where I was like trying to find myself, and it just kind of.
Are you a superhero?
I am a little bit of a superhero.
I was gonna say, like, lightning struck you in the mountains of Yosemite, like when you were trying to find yourself.
Yeah. Steph is actually a shaman.
She kind of. Also, she can fly. Yeah, but no, there's actually this rock outcropping, and it was actually a very transformative moment in my life. It was like, I could find the picture for y'all later, but it's like this. It was like this rock that's just over the cliff, and you can like climb out onto it, and there's just like nothing. Like it's all just hundreds, like drop like down forever. And I climbed out on it because I kept talking myself out of it. It's like, I want to do that. And then fear kept me from doing it. It's like, no, I want to do that. Fear kept me from doing it. And I conquered that fear. And it was the first time I've actually like had my body like really, really scream at me, like, don't do that. You're going to die. Like you.
Yeah.
And to like conquer that was like awesome. And then paralyzed me for like weeks, but it was a good moment in my life. Would recommend, not a thrill seeker.
That sounds amazing. Yeah, that sounds awesome. That's like a hell of a story. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have like feelings about this. Yeah, like in my heart. Yeah.
Cool.
Well,
like
I have never climbed a mountain, so
I can't say I'm much of a mountain climber myself.
Yeah, I think the estrogen would hurt my climb this time. I did pretty good mountain climbing, but my muscles aren't the same as they were.
Just can't even open a jar, let alone climb a mountain.
Cool. It's cool. You just do this thing, like.
Oh, you have to like.
Yeah, like with your hand. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. All right. Ash, I know I've been hogging the interrogative questions.
No, it's good.
Do you have anything you want?
Well, I think we need to go back to like who our role models are.
Oh, we need to go back. Okay.
Yeah,
we need
circle
to go back.
Circle back to that question.
All right.
All right. Steph has already mentioned one of mine, like Jamie Clayton, like 100%. I would be her all day, yes.
Yeah. I mean, you can also loop in the Wachowski sisters.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. You just stole my answer, damn it.
I've done that a few times for you. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Sorry. I understand. I understand. Look, yeah, we have similar opinions. Okay, it's cool.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I especially like the Wachowskis because of the whole red pill thing, you know, where they're like, there's this whole group of people using the metaphor of the red pill for exactly the thing that it doesn't mean, as confirmed by the people who wrote it. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I actually sat down and watched The Matrix again for the first time since I transitioned like 2 or 3 months ago, and I was like, yeah, no, I 100% buy into this, like, the idea that Neo is a trans person, and the whole everything about The Matrix is just a transition story.
I mean, I'm not ready to go that far personally. I do agree that it has heavy trans symbolism in it, and I think that there's transness underlying. But I think at the end of the day, they were like, we can't make a trans story. We're gonna show enlightenment about a self-realization story.
Yeah.
Which is taught from the perspective of trans women. So it's like,
so it reads as, or can be read as.
Right.
Yeah. Role model wise, like specifically for me in like other venues, I have a huge like love and appreciation and like support and affection for like all the high profile esports trans ladies that are like sort of emerging.
Oh god, I need to meet Scarlett.
Right? Right! Oh my god!
Scarlett, call me.
Call me, please.
Please call me. Oh, just touch my skin.
transfer me some of your power.
I think Scarlet was probably one of my first like actual exposure to like young trans women. Before that, my all my ideas of like trans women were like people in their 50s.
Yeah, like older people. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Well, there's a couple of names thrown out collectively. Anyone have any other particulars to add to the list?
Yeah, I have two very particular role models. Distracted Elf.
I swear to God, no, don't.
Ferociously Steph.
My heart. Just heart attack right here.
Yeah.
We're done.
I mean, I would not be here doing Twitch if it weren't for you two also doing Twitch.
Cool. Well,
that really warms my heart.
I'm very happy to hear that positive influence abounds.
Yes.
You know, and that loops in back to the whole like, what does it feel like being a role model for people? You know what I mean? Like being in public space, where you're like,
you just gained power.
People,
or is it terrifying?
People do stuff because you do stuff, and that's crazy.
I know. It's wild. It's wild. It's always the same feeling. To me, it's like, wow, that's awesome. Oh my God, that's that's scary. But I'm so glad. I'm so glad because like, I mean, just you saying that it means a whole lot because it means I've spawned more rainbows into this world.
More rainbows.
That's my prime directive.
Is
just pretty things.
Just more rainbows, always, forever.
Rainbows everywhere.
That's me. That's I want to go through life making it prettier. That's done.
That seems like an admirable goal, you ask me.
100%.
I'm more for the grim and dark myself, but you know, pretty's good too. It's
you need both in life.
It's true. Yeah.
I mean, clearly we should just date and.
I mean,
don't say these things. I'm blushing now. No, Steph, come on.
Sorry.
Taking me off guard there. You're right, though. You're right. 100%. Yeah.
Anyway, talking about role models.
Yeah.
I got some of those.
Yeah, hit us up.
I'm not sure. There's actually, this is kind of a weird answer, but there's actually a band called Anima that totally changed my life.
Yeah.
I don't know them.
I know their music, but I don't know much about them. I don't know if that's.
They're just, I mean, as a band, they're very trans inclusive, very inclusive, queer pride, but it's like such a good message. And they've gotten me through a whole lot of nights. So as for like trans role models, Jamie Clayton cracked my egg, and then I just I dove in at first.
Same. Yeah. Well, not the Jamie Clayton part, but the diving in head first thing.
Yeah. I mean, like I had this vision of who I was. I just had to follow that, and now I'm here.
I think I've never been like a half stepper. You know what I mean? Like when I knew what I needed to do, I just went like wholly into it with both feet, like directly with no remorse.
Mostly stuck in chat. Sorry, I interrupted you. Julia Estrada's Whipping Girl, also very important. Huge book, changed my life. Thank you.
Solid.
Can I just say, so with Jamie Clayton, did you guys know that there is a show called Transform Me, which is basically Queer Eye for a Straight Guy for trans women?
I did not know this existed.
With
what?
Jamie Clayton and Laverne Cox.
What?
It was both Jamie Clayton and Laverne Cox. It was their first like big like TV break. What was a show where they went around the country cracking eggs.
Oh my God. Can that be me?
Yeah, I want to do that. Put me on a team with Steph and we'll do that.
Oh my God.
100%.
Oh my gosh.
We'll go on adventures and crack eggs.
I'm gonna try and track down some episodes of that to watch it. It's probably gonna be super cringeworthy because it was like 5 or 6 years ago.
I really hate that. That's the thing where you're like, oh, I'm really hyped about this because it sounds good, but it's never like it.
Yes, you hype it up in your own head.
Oh, it never lives up to the potential of the thing.
Queer Eye was amazing.
Yeah.
Queer Eye was really good. So we just need to have Queer Eye 2. We need to pitch this to Netflix.
Okay.
Yes. 100%.
All right. I'll send the email today, I guess.
Yeah, totally.
Netflix.
You actually can just clip this.
Netflix.
No need to write it out.
Yeah, just clip this, send it.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Yep.
We'll all be employed by Netflix by the end of the week.
Easy. Let me hide this.
Hide that Twitch logo.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Sweet deal. Anything else, Ash? Anything?
Yeah. So why don't we talk about
Then we do it actual fractal, and then it happens. Sorry.
What's some advice you two have for people who like newly find themselves with a platform, and like what is the best practice for reaching out and trying to both build a good community around you and then like using that community?
This question is really tough because it like goes into a whole lot of like general Twitch strategy.
Yeah, it goes pretty deep.
Mm-hmm.
It goes really deep. I'm like, I mean, a lot of people ask how do you like grow an audience, maintain an audience. I think the important thing, one mistake that I see a lot is people compromising their values in their chat because it's an extra view.
Mm-hmm.
When you have someone like of course you're gonna ban the trolls, but when you have someone that's like hurting your stream because your chat is part of your stream and you keep them in because you're like, oh, I've got only 10 viewers, like it's a big deal to have another viewer. So just like keeping a hold on your community, realizing that good small is better than bad large, and slow growth is gonna happen, hopefully.
I totally agree with you. The one thing that I would advise for, like, if we're talking about trans folks with like a platform, so to speak, is you're gonna have the same conversation quite a lot. Be prepared to have the patience, or know that when you answer the question once, it doesn't mean the next person who comes in doesn't think you've never answered that question. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of, I find myself going over the same ground like a fair amount, and while I don't do it like constantly, there is a certain degree of like, all right, well, let's see if we can get this person to understand, you know what I mean? And my rule for like chat trolling or whatever, like stuff I don't like, right? And what you're saying, Steph, like about compromising morals, like is into this as well. Like, my rule is one and done. Like, you say one thing, I give you a response, and then if your next thing is rude, then you're gone. Like, that's my, because I want to give them the chance to be like, oh no, sorry, I just said that because, you know, or whatever. Like,
you give people the benefit of the doubt, but
to like come back to that. If we're talking about, sorry, no, please.
My moderation guidelines are, one of them is like, just assume that the new toxic person is toxic, or like a small child, like, or just language barrier deals. Like, it's just give them the benefit of the doubt, try to explain, because there's a whole lot of kids on Twitch, which is another interesting thing.
That's a whole thing that we could talk for hours about.
Yeah, that's true. But it does tie into being a role model, right?
Yeah,
like,
it really does.
Yeah,
like Twitch is shaping language by the top streamers are broadcasting to, you know, they're shaping society right now.
Yeah, what there was like a music person.
Drake. You don't know who Drake is?
I don't know who Drake is. I don't even know who Ninja is. Ninja is someone who's just completely come out of nowhere, and I'm like, when did this person become the biggest person
They
on
have
Twitch?
not though. Like
been around.
I've been around for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Ninja, but I don't actually know much about Ninja, and so I always imagine whenever I say I like a thing that someone's gonna tell me why I shouldn't.
Well, my take on that stuff, and I watched like a bunch of that particular stream, just because it was hype and everybody was watching it, so I watched a little bit.
Sure.
It's kind of my only contact with him. And this is off topic, obviously, but I am glad that the person who you could call like quote unquote the face of Twitch with like their big audience and their like incredible viewership numbers and shit like that, is somebody who appears to be like genuine and like real, rather than somebody who is a toxic, arrogant, masculine asshole, which is every other person that's ever been the quote unquote top Twitch person. So that's my take on it. Suffice to say.
Yeah, no, he definitely seemed real. He definitely seemed chill, humble, like it's good. It's good.
It's just the next four right behind him, a fake. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. But what are you gonna do, right?
Yep.
We must combat such things from within.
Yes, 100%. Or we just all move to
rainbows.
Mixer.
More rainbows.
More rainbows.
More rainbows.
There is no limit to the rainbows.
No limit. No limit. I'm gonna
I can hear something beeping. Keep talking among yourselves.
Yes, okay. Steph and I will worry about this while you.
We're talking about spawning rainbows. Yes, when I die, there will be a score of like
a score.
My queer influence score, and I want to.
Oh, like a high score. See, I thought you meant a score like a musical score. I'm like,
oh, that could be that. Steph, you were super queer. Now you're dead. You were queer. You helped crack egg.
Hello. My mum is just burning toast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just burning the house down.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine.
That was a good song, Steph. I want to record that.
Thanks. We can put that together more seriously later for sure.
Just put it on iTunes, 99 cents per purchase.
99 cents. Yep. With music video too.
Yeah, of course.
Dying and going into queer heaven.
Oh god.
Anyway.
I'm just like yep. Definitely. All right. So Ash looks a little confused.
So what do we think? We're talking about like Twitch a bit. What do we think are some things that Twitch can do as a platform to...
Oh god.
Can we talk about this?
You want to go in first?
Yeah, Steph, no, go.
Yeah. What?
I can see you like, let me go, let me do it.
One, Kappa Pride needs to get out of here.
Yeah.
Kappa
Yes.
Pride is the worst. Kill Kappa Pride. Why is that a thing? We need a trans pride emote on Twitch. We need Twitch to be like, look, trans people are valid. You know, they got really close to that. They were like, we want anyone to be their authentic self on Twitch. That was great and all, but they're still not they're too scared to actively push diversity agendas on their platform. But they're trying. In their defense, I still believe in them. I am speaking now from disappointment. But I have another armband. Whoa. I'm sorry. I thought my shirt was asymmetrical. Go ahead, Distracted Elf.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head, right? Like, it's a matter of them like publicly coming out for that kind of stuff, like the idea of like supporting that diversity and like being there for that. But yeah, I mean, they're afraid of it, you know, like to a certain degree. I think it's all fine and dandy to be like, fuck yeah, Twitch unity, like whatever thing, you know. But if you follow that up with jack shit, it doesn't really matter. Right?
Yeah, and like you were just saying about the top streamers on Twitch are this toxic masculinity face. I think Twitch is afraid of alienating that group. They're like, we're gonna lose these toxic income sources.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
I mean,
so
you know, when you
true.
say like when you say like,
Oh.
oh yeah, Twitch says like be your authentic self, we get a bunch of authentic dickheads as well.
Yeah, I get that. I
so.
get that a lot too. Actually, that's a little bit sidetracked pet peeve. People are like, I'm always like, be your authentic self. Your authentic self is pretty. And like, well, what if my authentic self is a? And I'm like, no. That is false. Your authentic self is nice to yourself because you can't manage to be an asshole to yourself all day. You have to eat.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have food. Like, sorry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I got riled right now. Y'all. Yes. Hi.
So one thing that has been, I'll tell you what, bugging me on this very stream. You two can't see it, but I get all the automod messages in my chat. I have whitelisted the word queer, and it's still picking up every single chat message that has the word queer in it gets picked up by automod, and I'm just moderation tools in general I think need to be improved.
Do we need to like look at? Is there a queer representative, or are there people that are like upset at queer being used? Because personally, I think I don't mind even if a troll says queer. I'm like, hell yeah, I am. Like, you know.
I mean, I think that comes down to person, and I cannot speak for like everyone. Sure. Obviously, like some people may have very bad history with that word, right? Like,
right.
In terms of like the way that they have been treated throughout their childhood and so forth. Like,
yeah,
sucks, right? But I agree with you. Like, it's one of those words that's like definitely, sort of like coming back into that fold of like, it's fine. Like, it's a descriptor, and it's like embraced. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the same for everybody. But like, if things are like generally blanket treated like they're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem. I mean, it's like the whole YouTube thing where like all LGBT content was being flagged as inappropriate.
Yeah.
That kind of shit, right? Like when you put automation onto anything.
Yeah.
It's alienating minorities. It just does, right?
It's one of those things that it's honestly the biggest problem in anything artificial intelligence related that is dealing with groups of people is eventually it optimizes itself on the majority. And so you get it with facial recognition software, you get it with like chat mods, you get it with anything that's designed to like curate like media feeds are all just they need to be way more tailored to like I need to be able to tailor automod. I need to be able to get into the settings and tweak stuff myself to make that work for my channel.
Yeah, totally. I totally agree with you.
So I'm trying to think of like role model related question that I can throw out here. I have like a question in my head, but it's a matter of like how to words this question.
Yes.
If you need to, just start talking.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now. It's just not the question. It's not. Nope, I can't get it. I can't get stuck. It's not there. Ash,
It'll come back around. It'll come back around. Give it like.
Ash, take the wheel, Ash.
The bus just crashed.
Oh no.
Oh, well, I guess that wasn't a good role model. Buses have wheels.
Oh dear.
Okay, we're being silly. I mean, when are we not? Let's be real.
Yeah, you had me on your show. Like, you expected this to be.
I mean, I was expecting, you know, like we'd all have suit jackets on.
Yeah, 100%. Can we all wear suit jackets?
No, I don't even own a suit jacket.
I've been sitting. I have my suit jacket hanging up here somewhere. I want to get it retailored so bad. I'm telling you, ladies in suits.
Oh,
They
yeah?
slay
an
you?
aesthetic.
Is that a thing?
Is that your aesthetic? Is it who you want to be?
It's
or who you
an
wanna be with?
aesthetic.
It's an aesthetic. Okay.
And
Ash,
not-
is this the part of the show where we should farm this out, you think?
Yeah, I think we've
chat?
gotten to the point where maybe we can farm it out to chat.
Because I can feel myself being like, questions are not coming to my mind currently. So chat always has questions. Let's see what chat does for us. Chat, we will now directly address anything that you ask us. Rock that shit. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, being role model stuff would be essentially better, but I'm not saying that I wouldn't answer questions about anything else, okay? So just go for it. I mean, trans-related stuff. Let's not ask me questions about how I think about the new expansion for whatever. I don't know. Like, that's not helpful.
Is that that's the VillainCon cup, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Yeah, it is.
It's cool.
The only reason I'm using this one is because I recently quit drinking soda. And I need the biggest receptacle that I have to fill with water so that I can
only pint glasses.
Yeah.
If mostly suck asked, if you were the boss of Twitch, what would you do to make it more trans cool? I would overlay the trans flag, underlay the trans flag over the entire website.
The entire website.
The entire website, everywhere that's purple is now the trans flag, with maybe like some purple Twitch elements in it. Be like, yeah, by the way, trans people are real. Get over it. It's 2018.
It is current year fallacy. God damn it.
Is there a problem with that one?
No.
It's just my favorite.
I mean, how can I top that? How can I top putting the trans flag over everything?
I mean, like, a trans pride emote helps too. If you hype a trans pride emote, like, honestly, truly, what I think you could do is just be like, let's make a transgender queer, like, just a diversity.
Can we just have an emote that is Steph's face?
Just put some effort into it. Just put some effort into, like, actually fostering that community.
I think you can take it beyond that, though, right? You can just let's have like built-in like pride flag emotes. Let's have a rainbow flag emote. Let's have a trans pride one. Let's have a pan pride and a bi pride and all the other prides. Just have that. Put them in. Don't put them in loot boxes.
Don't put them in loot boxes. I think the other thing is, like, I would be so strict with my banning procedures for people that are hateful and toxic and shitty. Right? Like, I don't care how many thousands of viewers you have. If you're a hateful, toxic, shitty person, bye. Like, that would be my thing. It's like, here it is in the guidelines, specifically outlined what you cannot do. Look, you did it later. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's one of those things that's like, it creates a much safer environment where people are not getting preferential fucking treatment for being popular, which is a thing in Twitch.
Sure is.
Like,
sure is.
100%. I love me some Twitch, but it's a super fucking thing. Yeah.
Although they've been trying, like, I actually feel like Twitch has been doing a lot better.
Oh, I mean,
yeah. They're definitely
but I'm
making
just
some
saying,
effort.
like, I think that's a step in the right direction. And
right.
It would take
but
it
we're
further.
not leaving Twitch, you know? We are looking, we're saying, like, oh, Twitch is doing a good job from the perspective of, like, a minority that doesn't expect to get much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we don't exactly have a lot of expectation in our hearts.
Right.
Which is sad. It's tragic. But what are you gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's a question from Andrew. How do y'all feel about the broad versus focused inclusivity / diversity stuff? Like, would you prefer a more focused spotlighting and support? I think speaking about, like, minorities being represented.
So
stuff. It's like very blanket, right?
I don't like it. Twitch Unity is great, but I feel that quite often minorities within minorities can still get drowned out. And you can look at something. Twitch did a really good job with like Black History Month this year, promoting a ton of different creators. But since then, how many of them have been on the front page?
Right.
Or like even with a follow-up, anything.
Yeah.
Is a good.
Kind of like we did it.
Yeah.
We did it. We solved it. Yeah. And that was my big problem with the Twitch Unity stuff. And like it's a good statement to like get on, just because it's like, yes, inclusivity is good, like yes, but like everyone knows that. Everyone ever knows that, like, that inclusivity is good, right? Right. But the thing about it, right, is that when your message is inclusivity is good and it lasts a day and then it's over, and then you act like you've solved the problem, and that you're a fantastic, diverse company of awesome, inclusive people, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying they're not necessarily. I don't know the makeup of Twitch, but what I do know is when you act like you solved the problem one day after you did something.
I think the telling point is Steph, during your speech at TwitchCon last year, when you called chat the fuck out, and they were doing exactly what you were saying they would do. Like, I don't know how to solve that problem, but the problem is ultimately there are a lot of just not very nice people who fill up chat rooms.
Imagine, what if on the main thing of Twitch, it's like following, browse, store, yada yada yada. What if there was an LGBT page on
like
Twitch?
A button,
like a button that's rainbow, and it's like, you go here, this is where we're going to. Well, then we're kind of segregating ourselves.
And the shitty thing is, like, that becomes targeting, right?
Yeah,
like
it does become targeting, but Twitch could also take a statement like, we're gonna
it's a difficult thing, right? Like, it's one of those things that's like, it does need to be handled like a certain way.
Yeah, and I've definitely found, like, because I mean, all of us like wear this kind of thing on our sleeve. I think all of us stream on the LGBT community.
I don't even know what my communities are right now. I'm pretty sure I do, but
yeah. I definitely have people. There are definitely trolls who go through that, and they go onto every single channel, and they just go in and be like, why does Twitch need an LGBT community? Why is this a thing? Can't we all just imagine none of this exists? And it's
why is there a community for people who like Tracer's butt? Like, there's a community for everything. Like, how is that even a question? Like, we're talking about a group of people here.
Right, totally.
Everybody bands around in a community. By the way, I would be part of a group of people that like Tracer's butt. I'm just saying.
Can we just establish that Tracer's butt is now in a Hollywood movie?
Is it? It is! Oh my god, you're right. Yeah, with the Ready Player One shit. Anyway. Like, we all know that community is just called queer women. Yeah, thanks, Skeeters. All right, we'll chat. And what I would say is that specifically promoted like uplifting over time with various groups is better than blanket saying support minorities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In my opinion, just to like loop back around for Andrew's actual question.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's like Twitch Unity was a temporary thing where I would rather have smaller initiatives that are like, trans people are valid all the time instead of they're valid this week. It's what it feels.
This is the special event week where you see our rare shiny trans people. You know what I mean? Like, Sorry, Steph. I like totally rampaged over what you were saying.
That was you tied it in perfectly.
Good.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Good. I'm glad. All right, chat. What else?
Yeah. So Krobosaur has asked, what advice would you give to someone who wants to use their status or free time to be a role model to other LGBT folks?
When you say use their status or free time, are we talking about someone who is LGBT themselves?
I would imagine so, yes.
The word status makes me think privilege.
I have been so one of the things that I've been talking about a lot in when I do like LGBT and STEM talks
Says yes, but
is the idea of using the privilege that you have. Like I am I'm a person who has checked my privilege. I know that I'm a white person. I know that I pretty much pass as middle class, even though I'm not. I'm well educated and I pretty well spoken. Like those are privileges that I have that I'm able to use to boost the message of the minorities that I am.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think if you want to put your time and effort into being a role model or like promoting people who are, I mean, it's about what messages you wanna put out there and like you want to support, right? Like, there's a certain degree of almost like if you want to say direct people to someone that you believe is like good for them, you know what I mean? Like that's acting as a good role model. Or you know, maybe if you don't have information that somebody needs, you help them find it, you know, or like any of that kind of stuff. Like I don't know, being a good role model is like being a good person. It's hard for me to describe to you what exactly that means, but you will understand intently when you get there, and so will the people that you're assisting, quote unquote.
Yep.
I don't know.
It's a tough question because it's so vague. I would love to know more about your situation.
Yeah,
Probably
like
not now, but
yeah.
But like that to me is like really cool. Everyone has their own story. Everyone has their own like how can you help is like that's a huge question that depends on a whole lot of your personal variables.
But also like asking that question is the first step to being an awesome person, right?
Yeah.
Like in asking the question, how can I make other people's lives better? I mean, you're already doing it. You're working towards putting the effort in to make other people feel better about themselves and like uplift people and like support people. It's important, and asking the question is the first step to doing that.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those things. So part of Crowbar's question was asking about like how to use your free time, and I think just like look for like local charities. I think is really important. Like there are lots of like big national charities that do a lot of stuff, but look for like small local like LGBT charity groups that are doing stuff, and like just go and volunteer. Like 100% they will always have something for you to do, and it will be making the lives of usually LGBT kids better, and that's like so good.
Make sure you're well informed as well, and make sure Dave's step 2 is absolutely correct. Try not to make it about your effort. This is sometimes kind of tricky to recognize that you're doing it. Though that's more about like people who are outside of the LGBT community, like speaking as if they are members of such a community, you know what I mean? Or like speaking over the voices of people who have those experiences and stuff. Like that's the whole like allyship thing that we talked about last week, basically. Or was it the week before? I don't remember.
It's definitely a tricky topic, right? Because also like people with privileges are going to listen to the opinions of people with privileges. Like you're more likely to get through to a cishet person on trans issues if it's coming from another cishet person.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I agree, basically.
Yeah, I agree with you too. I just wanted to, bridge that. Like if while trans people talking on trans issues is super important, like a lot of people see me as lesser because I'm trans, and to get to those people, like my voice is actually by default weaker when I speak to them. So hearing it from their peers, from people that they don't look down upon, that they do respect, helps a whole lot.
Yeah, I all of that exactly. Yes, you're right. Like people talking to their peers is one of the best things they can do outside of like, if you're outside the community and wish to support it, that is one of the best ways to do so. Talk to your peers, make them know that the things they are saying, quote unquote, are maybe not okay. Call them the fuck out.
Oh yes.
We called out Twitch for the never mind. Sorry.
What do we call it?
Twitch posted a re joke. RE on their
Yeah,
they did.
gross.
Sorry, I didn't heard about that.
I didn't even see that. I didn't even see that. They must have taken it down fucking lightning fast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
They got called out on it.
Yeah. They also got called out on that whole like sending emails to people who are unsub to you or whatever thing.
That was gross. That was so gross.
Where it's like, come back and sub again. Thing where it's like, no, that's not.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a whole long conversation we could have about Pepe and like other offensive emotes.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing. So our good friend Blue Jay has just like straight up banned Pepe in her chat.
I have to.
Yeah.
I have to.
Yeah. Just trying to see if there's anything else in the
agenda.
Chat.
There's always more agenda.
In the agenda? Well, world domination's at the bottom there. It's kind of scratched out, but it's there,
yeah,
you know?
Like, it's there.
We'll get to it after the rest of the show. After when we go offline, the three of us are going to talk about our Illuminati plans for secret trans world domination that all the cishet people are scared of.
Yep.
It's real, team.
Yeah. It's why you keep seeing about it in the newspapers, like these poor marginalized right-wing newspapers who have just this massive coverage, but no one's listening to them about our evil transplants.
Yeah, they're super evil.
All right, chat.
Okay, so there's a question from Elskar saying, do you think Twitch itself should get more involved in moderating bigger streams like tournaments and
I think that is a sea of people, and moderating people screaming into the abyss is pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
That's where Automod gets good.
Yeah. That's where you like you blanket ban certain things and just, you know, hope that it works.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess there was something with Games Done Quick this year, or the last Games Done Quick did something with their moderation. I can't remember what it was, but lots of people were complaining about their chat because apparently they were doing a lot of really good moderation stuff, and that made a lot of people angry.
You're talking about GDQ this year, which was sub only, and they were moderating it like heavily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which I think is a good thing, but you know, plenty of people are willing to scream about anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they lost viewers because of it, though.
Probably.
Yeah.
But they cared. But GDQ is a very queer.
Yeah, it is a very 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 queer inclusive thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. What else?
Hey, Seaside.
Chat. What else you got for us? You don't need question. Maybe one more or two more, and then we're good, and then we'll disappear from your sites for another bi-weekly disappearance.
Yeah.
Anything? Come on, chat, don't let me down.
You can do it. You can do it, chat. I believe.
Is it okay if I plug what I'm up to nowadays?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, 100%.
Waiting for a question. I stream Heroes of the Storm. I thought about maybe moving away from Heroes of the Storm, but I'm actually planning on like doubling, tripling down on that game.
Yes.
I've been in the top 10 like several seasons. Top 10 North America. I've like reached that rank, and I'm hoping to do one last push for an esports career, and I'm looking to take a team of all women to the HGC. That's I'm going in on it. So
awesome.
if you want to catch up with me, you can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/FerociouslySteph and Twitter at FerociouslyS. Thank you for letting me take that moment.
No, of course.
Yeah.
Brewing. That dream is just like
I'm like I should get better at HOTS. That's all I'm. Yeah, like what's on my.
I have not played like a serious game of Hearts since before like 2.0 came out.
How is okay? Here's an interesting one. How has Twitch changed for trans people since you first joined Twitch? Would you say at all?
Huge. It's been a lot. It's gotten a lot better for me. Because there's a whole lot more trans affiliates. There's a whole lot of trans people. I mean, I'm sure Distracted Elf feels even more like you were around before I was.
I've been streaming for an ass ton of time, my friends. Like a good solid 5 years, 6 years now. Like full-time streamer business. It's like it's insane. And I spent some of that time streaming as like a cishet white guy. So I know how difficult these things can be by comparison, and it has gotten a lot better. It's gotten a lot better. Yeah. Yeah. Elf is a Twitch oldster. I fucking am. Just grinding along, you know.
Yeah.
Just doing what I can. Het as in like heterosexual, although I mean that's just by appearance. I was very gay. Now I just don't label it at all.
Yeah.
Now I just like the people that I like.
Yeah, that's the best way to be.
You know.
Yeah, I feel like I have a much shorter like experience with Twitch than you two, and from when I started to now, things have pretty much always been pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, when it started for me, it was real hard. But I was just like a month on hormones when I started streaming. So I also streamed my transition.
The fun times.
I hadn't even started like hormones when I started streaming.
If this is a competition, I win.
Yeah, no, you win.
Yeah,
you
totally,
win this competition.
Totally. This is a competition, I win.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Like I said, I just wanted to. Twitch was too easy. I just wanted to switch it up to challenge mode. Yeah.
Totally.
That was the deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say that it's a lot better now than when it started, and a lot better now than when I was going through my transition. And like, there's a lot more visibility, and there's a lot more like care for that kind of thing. Though there isn't a whole lot more in terms of what we're talking about when we're talking about like proper inclusivity. We are seeing the minor amount of more that we've come to expect as what more sounds like for us. You know? Which is it's a shame, but what are you gonna do, right? Still better, friends. Better is still better than not better. Wow, that
Absolutely.
was a
eloquent,
terrible
so eloquent. This is why I asked you to do this show with me.
This is why I'm the co-host. Yeah. All right. What else? We got one more. Let's do one more, and then we'll do our post show goodbyes and stuff.
Yeah.
What else? What else we got? Better is still better than not better. Yes, thank you, mostly stuck. Yes, that is what I said. Professional linguist.
That's a great quote. You could be president. That could actually be your platform. Better is still better than not better. Vote for better.
I mean, it would be better than the current situation.
Better than not better.
It would
the
certainly
current
be better
situation
than
is definitely
not better, which
not
is
better.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm pretty sure the trick is just dumb down your language, just a few words, and you can get it.
Incremental improvements are still improvements. Yes, that is how you would say it better than I did.
Elegant syntax. Good name for what you just did.
Elegant syntax is a lovely trans streamer too. Yeah.
Sounds like a video game I would play. It'd be like a techno punk.
All right, chat. You don't have anything else to ask us?
Okay, we've got one. Seaside Sunrises says, if you had one thing you could say to trans people and people in general, what would you say?
You're beautiful. You're so beautiful. Wait, two trans people?
Yeah.
Or about trans people?
Two
trans people.
You are the world's leading expert on yourself. No one can tell you how to be yourself better than you can. Live your life, find out who you are, and be it beautifully.
I think I would say, hold on. It gets a hell of a lot better, and you will love the end results.
Smash the patriarchy.
But that's like, what about like, yeah, fair enough.
Just everyone needs to smash
Everyone
the patriarchy.
should do that. Yeah.
Everyone. I went last there. I can't
All
run
right.
up.
How can we not end the stream on Smash the Patriarchy? I think that's a perfect location to do so. So,
yeah.
Steph, you already gave us like an info about like what you're up to, but why don't you just like repeat all that valuable information for the folks at home?
I'm gonna type in chat that hi. This is my name, and
follow FerociouslySteph.
Yes.
At Ferociously.
Also, thank you for being on the show with us.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me.
Lovely to have you.
Yeah.
Ash, you wanna take it before I do, or should I go first?
It's really fun.
I can do the thing. Yeah. I'm Ashley Nova. This is my channel. You should follow me by clicking the button that's up there somewhere. I don't know where it is. There's a little heart button. You should just press that. And then you can see when I do all the stuff when I'm live. I'm playing the playing the prequel to Life is Strange at the moment, and it's feelsy. There's so many feels. And you can find me on Twitter at Ashley_Nova_. One day I will drop the underscores. Elf.
I'm gonna do what Steph did. I'm gonna say hi in chat so that people can see my username. But then I'm gonna be like, "Yo, what up? I'm Distracted Elf. How's your day been?" You can follow me at twitch.tv/DistractedElf or on Twitter at DistractedElf, where I am better than not better.
Elf is the best kobold on Twitch.
I'm a trans philosopher.
I'd read your book.
Okay, cool.
It's better than not better.
By Distracted Elf.
By Distracted Elf.
Cool. Okay, I'm gonna. We should end the stream. That's it. Thanks for coming, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
We will see you for the next transgender next time.